Originality and visual storytelling can help set your work apart from everyone else's, making it more enticing and memorable for your audience. There's no one formula for creating original ideas, however, here are some tips and tricks that you can use to tell stories in your own creative voice. I'll go over a couple of technical elements shortly, but let's ask ourselves, is it okay for our work to be influenced by other creators? Absolutely. What I found really helpful is liking and saving videos that I find inspirational. You can even use sites like ShotDeck or Pinterest, as they're a great resource for collecting still frames and styles of films that you find enjoyable. This is your mood board, your spice rack of ingredients. Use it to refer back to, combine elements of what it is that inspired you in the first place. I personally don't think that anyone in film and content creation is truly original. Everyone is inspired by something else. Saying that, there is a line to tread. The thing I see a lot of content creators just starting out doing is copying verbatim what their favorite creator does, and as a result they struggle to stand out. The only real benefit from copying is learning the technical approach. The expression good artists copy, great artists steal is thrown around when it comes to this topic. However, I don't think directly stealing is the answer either. I prefer the term steal and remix. Meaning, take what it was that inspired you in the first place, but now inject some of your own perspective, personality, and approach. Mix the genres, flip the traditional perspectives, or apply the film language of one style with an injection of another. As you learn more about these elements, you can then start flipping the script of what is expected, keeping your audience on their toes, and as a result, wanting more of your content and surprises. This is done everywhere that you see in film and TV. Even this channel is a combination of the styles of content creators that we love. So combining these styles that you find enjoyable will generate something brand new, which in return becomes your style. And once you find that style, let's talk about some techniques that you can use to stand out visually. Like using the frame. Martin Scorsese has said cinema is a matter of what's in frame and what's not in frame. Put simply, when you have two shots together, you need to ensure that the context is within frame. If you don't do it, then plain and simple, your audience will be confused about what is happening and where the action is taking place. However, the way around that is to use something that I call editor anchors. These are visual references that remain constant between shots so the audience can understand what is happening. You can use everything from character's motion, or perhaps an eyeline. As long as the context is there, the frame is whatever you make of it. Use it to emulate your stories, emphasize emotion, create nostalgia, or the opportunity for comedy. Thank you. Or maybe setting up a transition, as sometimes the simplest editing approach can be the most effective. Things like match cuts or pass-by transitions can work wonders to elevate the flow of your scene. Being selective with your cuts and being more active with them will drastically change how your audience responds to your work. In our free editor hit film, we often use simple masking techniques or subtle crafty cuts that can give a more effective and creative edit to entice your viewer. Here's an example. We have a scene of a character traveling from one location to another. We could have a series of cuts and shots establishing the travel, or we could use the framing and motion to lead into the new scene. This saves you valuable time and money while getting the point across to your viewer. Your job as a filmmaker and content creator is to take the boring, mundane stuff and illustrate it in a new, fun, creative way. So what you can do is break down what information do I need to provide my audience, and how can I provide it in the most entertaining way possible. Embrace the restrictions. Some content creators make the mistake of thinking that they need the latest gear or some crazy VFX to make their work stand out. At the very core of filmmaking is problem solving and resourcefulness. Regardless of the tools that you want or think that you need, the most effective ones are the ones that you have. Your phone, for example, may not have cinematic quality, but it is lightweight, it is portable, it can go into areas and angles that traditional cameras just can't go into. So whether you have one light, one camera, an actor, you'll be surprised what you can get from just the bare essentials, so don't ever let anyone tell you that you need expensive gear to tell your stories. And finally, keep at it. As soon as you start creating with your style, keep honing your craft. Add more ingredients to your spice rack and mood board so you can throw them into the blender and keep your content fresh. Play around with different genres, experiment with techniques and what you can bring to your projects. Plan an upload schedule so you can have a deadline set for when you need to create something. And if you're looking for an opportunity right now, Artlist has just begun its CreativeFest competition. You could win a $10,000 cash prize, a bunch of amazing goodies. All you need to do is create a 1-minute short video. The prompt is, what are you passionate about? There's also $1,000 available for each of the top 10 runners up. That's so much money. There's a link down in the description of this video where you can go and find out more. Take what you've learned from this video and go get creative. And if you watch this and then go on to win, then, tell us. We'd love to hear from you. You don't have to pay me. It takes time to find your voice, but often all it takes is a creative eye and the willingness to experiment and explore what's out there. All you need to remember is that you are the one telling this story, and you need to tell it in your way. If you're starting out, don't give yourself a hard time if you haven't found your style. It will come with time, and the more you create, the easier it will become to find. If you found anything in this video helpful, then please do consider liking and subscribing. It really does help us out. Otherwise, this video looks great for you. Go check it out, and I might see you in the next tutorial.